Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, going to talk about a lot of things. Going to bring my bro in today to talk about all things Vols. Talk about the transfer portal. We've had a couple of guys transfer out. We're also going to discuss the Hendon Hooker snub by the Tennessee Titans, which I'm very irritated by, and all things Vols, and also Alabama, Florida, all their quarterback woes, all that good stuff. And let's get right on into it. All right, Chilmont, our guy Hendon Hooker got bypassed by the Titans, and that's really irritated me. And I really think they made a bad choice there. And I've kind of detailed many of the reasons why. We've also had, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but we've also had another player enter the transfer portal here just a minute ago.
Yeah, I saw that. I think we've recruited over a couple of guys, and they've probably read the writing on the wall and taken the opportunity here to transfer because I don't recognize any of the names.
Now, I covered the Cameron Miller, who went out. He was a cornerback who was a wide receiver in high school, and he came in as a cornerback. And then we had another fella, Nigel Lanier. Now, neither one of those guys were starters or big contributors. You know, they were quality athletes when they were recruited. It's just, I kind of feel like the Vols they're rising as far as talent level. And it's pushing out some guys who, you know, a few years ago probably could have got on the field, but it's just not happening for them now. And I think that's just part of the growing pains of becoming a much more elite football team.
Well, that's it. And with the transfer portal now, guys like this would have had to stay on the roster and sat the bench and ride the pine like so many did at Alabama because they would cut guys all the time. Of course, it only makes news when Tennessee does it, of course. Guys get recruited over, they can, you know, they eventually see the writing on the wall and say, well, I'm definitely just not going to play much here. So I'd be better to make the move. And I don't blame them. And good luck to them. I hope it all goes well.
Yeah, I think the coaches are probably being pretty straight up with them too. They probably went to them and said, Coach, am I going to be on this team? Or maybe the coaches went to them, and you really need to make room for the players that can contribute. And granted, it's tough when you've got a freshman or a sophomore who maybe in a few years could, but you can't guarantee them that. And they want to play now. You know, they're under a lot of pressure to play from friends and family and all that sort of stuff. And it's hard when you come out of high school and you're the stud on the team and you can't even get on the field. That's very difficult.
And you know, like I said, you can see the writing on the wall when we're getting 4 stars like crazy and a few 5 stars mixed in there. We got every 5-star in the country now is visiting us, you know, which that didn't used to happen at all. And I think there was an article I sent you that addressed this the other day at the spring game. There was 5 stars who visited during our spring game. The names are in the article, but I can't remember, you know, back before Heupel got here, I don't remember ever getting 5-star players to visit us, let alone come to the spring game. Yeah, and that's just what we're getting now. Everybody has to look at us now.
Yep. The Vols have become kind of the hot chick at the party.
Exactly.
Everybody's got to come see what the big rigmarole is. And it's because last year was so exciting and the offense has driven some people crazy.
Oh, yeah.
In a good way and a bad way. Of course, we've got Nick Saban is distraught because of our offense. And Kirby Smart's been chiming in about our offense. He's been crying about it.
Darn Heupel and his gimmicky offense for the last 10 years.
Yep. It's only been amazing for 7 or 8 straight years. And Kirby's upset about it. But that really upsets me that Kirby's upset about it. And I love it. I wish I can't wait till they're really upset. See, Kirby hadn't felt the sting yet, but he's probably going to feel a kneeling next year or this coming year.
Yeah, he's won back-to-back national championships, so he can't complain much. Yeah, we knocked Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide out last year of the playoff pretty much, and he's not happy about it at all. He likes it much better when we were the easy pushover we were for 15 years.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, after they beat the crap out of us, he come tell the media what a good team we were.
He loved Jeremy Pruitt, didn't he? Oh, Jeremy's such a go. He's doing a great job. See how he lets us win by 30. See, that's when he's happy.
Yeah.
When he loses,
even then you can't tell when he's happy because he's never really happy.
But our guy Hendon Hooker got bypassed by the Titans, and I just think that's the most ridiculous decision, not only politically, which is obvious, but Hendon Hooker's a better quarterback than Will Levis. I mean, I've sat there and
I agree
detailed the reasons
100%.
why. I mean, how about being clutch? How about winning big games at the last second like he did with Pittsburgh, Alabama? Think of all the things that he's done over the last 2 years that were just fantastic in the last minute or two of the ball game, or when you really had to go down and score, and he would do it.
Well, I'll tell you, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, right or wrong about this, but I think him getting his knee blown out and getting injured at the end of the year really hurt him with a lot of teams. And they, maybe they, and I never really heard this, labeled him injury prone, but, maybe a lot of teams looked at him that way, including Tennessee Titans, possibly. But I think it was a stupid move. They should have jumped on Hendon Hooker. First of all, they'd have sold out immediately all their season tickets. And because heck, I would have thought about buying season tickets just to watch him play if he'd have got to play. Being a Tennessee guy, God, that would be a natural. Plus the fact, like you said, is his numbers are so much better than Will Levis's. It's ridiculous.
Hendon Hooker had less interceptions total in 4 years than Will Levis did in his best year, which was 2021.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker had 12 interceptions in 4 years, 2 at Virginia Tech and 2 at Tennessee. And Will Levis in 2021 had 13 interceptions. So
yeah.
Hendon Hooker takes care of the ball, whether he was at Virginia Tech or he's at Tennessee. It doesn't matter. He took care of the football. Will Levis is a little bit careless with it.
Personally, I think Hooker's probably smarter too.
Well, he certainly plays like he understands the game better. I can say that.
And everybody's glowing, including most of the scouts that have talked to him, of glowing about what an awesome young man he is.
Yeah, I think what hurt Will Levis, why he dropped out of the first round, is that he came in kind of arrogant and telling the teams, what he was going to do and how he was going to lift them up. And I think a lot of those teams have dealt with that and know that is not the recipe for success in the NFL. When you come in and say, I'm doing you a favor by coming here, and maybe he didn't say it quite that way, but that's how they took it, because I heard that a lot.
A bunch of veteran millionaires aren't going to listen to that crap from some kid just fresh out of college. I can tell you that.
Well, they know they're not going to get cooperation if he thinks he knows it all. Or if he thinks he's, the gift that keeps on giving. He's the Jelly of the Month Club.
Clark, it's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward.
Well, I'll tell you, that's what Richardson is doing. Have you seen some of his tweets and stuff? He said, I'm already going to be a Hall of Famer and stuff like that. Yeah.
I can't believe he got picked fourth. That blew my mind that they picked him fourth. The guy can't hardly hit the broadside of a barn sometimes. Now, sometimes he's great. I mean, the guy shows flashes of greatness. That I'll give you. But sometimes he can't smell it.
Before they played us, he was about to be benched.
Yeah, I know it.
And he had a career game against us because our defensive backfield was so bad. And that's the only reason. He didn't actually run the ball that well against us, but he did a few times. He had like a career passing game against a really bad defensive backfield that we had. Hopefully that's much improved next year. Before that, everybody was down on him. And all of a sudden he's the number 4 player just because he ran really fast in the combine. I mean, that's nice, but that doesn't get the ball into receivers' hands.
Well, what does that tell you about Will Levis? That Richardson had a career game against us. So did the Alabama quarterback, Bryce.
So did Georgia.
And Will Levis couldn't throw for 100 yards and had 3 interceptions.
Yeah. And I felt bad for him.
Exactly. Yeah, he played the worst game I've about ever seen. Yeah, so and I can tell you what, I've had so many comments. When I say comments, I'm not talking about 4 or 5. I'm talking about 50, 60, 70 comments of people that are irritated with the Titans, that are saying, I'll never watch them, all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. People are furious. They don't understand it. They can't understand trading up to get Will Levis, and you pass on Hendon Hooker, who you could have had anywhere in the second round. Anywhere in the second round. They could have taken him at the 41st pick and not traded up and given up draft capital. Yeah, so nobody's happy about that. And then we've got Florida. They have no quarterback they're happy with. They're struggling. They're trying to find one in the transfer portal, and there's not much left. Really, you're at the tail end of this thing.
Yeah, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel in the transfer portal now because everybody's got their quarterbacks. And not as surprising it was at Florida, although a little, but very surprising at Alabama.
Yeah, they went and got the backup quarterback at Notre Dame, Tyler Buckner, who's pretty talented dude, but man, he's a pick six waiting to happen.
Yeah,
he's very risky with the ball.
Yeah, he's he's questionable too. I'm really surprised Saban has allowed this to happen there, and maybe he put too much confidence in the guys he drafted. But
yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what happened to him. I'll tell you exactly what happened to him. A guy by the name of Nico that probably would have gone to Alabama, Josh Heupel scooped him up. So there's a guy that they would have been planning on being a freshman this year that was the next phenom.
Yeah.
And he didn't get him because Josh Heupel got him. The Bryce Young and, all these, top dogs that always went to Alabama, they're coming to Tennessee now, or they're going to Georgia. They're going somewhere where they can win a natty. And Alabama is not necessarily the guaranteed pick anymore.
And he knows that Nico is going to be dangerous in Heupel's system too.
That's right. Nice, man. I am dangerous.
Nico is the perfect quarterback for Josh Heupel. Josh, literally, he's got to be so thrilled with that guy.
Yeah, for that fast-paced offense that we run, the gimmick. But yeah, he's perfect for that, and he's physically he's perfect for it. He's fast. He's I don't know if he's fast as Hooker, but tall. Great arm, apparently really accurate. He looked just a few times we saw him in the spring game, he looked great.
All right, folks, just wanted to have a little convo with my bro, talk about all things Vols. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's be able to continue to cover the Vols and all the goings-ons with the SEC. And if you've not subscribed, it's right here on the left. Just hit that little button. Just boom, it's all you got to do. Costs you nothing, helps me out. And right over here is my most recent video. Be sure to check that one out. And we will see you next time on Sports Talk J.